Welcome to my latest Dan's 420 weed review. Man, it feels really good to be back. I mentioned it earlier this month. Technically for me it was last month, but earlier, the start of this month, I did post another review. It wasn't a weed review. Hopefully all of you had a chance to check out that video. It was on THC concentrates, and it almost ended up in my bloopers reel because I was having mechanical issues with my pen trying to smoke that wax. So it was quite the video. It was something different I hadn't done up until then. Hopefully you all had a chance to take a look at that, and hopefully you all liked it, despite the fact that my pen wasn't working in that video as it should have. Anyway, as I mentioned, I'm back today with another weed review to share with all of you. Today we're going to take a look at another strain coming from the recreational side as well as from the Cosmos Company. Now, I've done reviews on the Cosmos Company, many reviews on their products, or at least on their weed strains. And that's because, as I mentioned in my previous videos, it's usually a really good package. It's a pre-packaged ounce, so you don't get to actually see or smell any of the weed before purchasing it. Comes in these packages, sealed up. If you go into the store, you can take a look at the nugs through the little, it's got a little section here that you can kind of see at the bottom here. But otherwise, lately I've been ordering my stuff online only because it gives me a better discount. These are already like $54 out the door, and I think just under $50 when you hit the discount. So anyway, it's been a little bit of hit and miss the last few times as far as the nugs go. Some of them have been good, some have been maybe not so good. So hopefully today's strain will be more on the good side of things. Of course, we're going to take a closer look at the weed today, and we'll talk more about, all those things like effects, how it tastes, how it smells, and all of that. But before we can even do that, we need to know what the actual strain is, right? Today's strain is called Chocolope. Ooh, doesn't that just sound good? Chocolope. I have had this strain a really long time ago. I can't even tell you how long. Maybe over a decade ago I've had this strain. So it's interesting to see it come back around, and I'm excited to try it again. Chocolope is a cross between chocolate Thai and a cantaloupe haze. Now, I've never had either one of those, but those two strains sound really good too. Chocolate Thai, I don't know, it just has a ring to it, right? Cantaloupe haze? Wow, I tell you what, we may be getting the best of both of those in this strain today called Chocolope. Chocolope is a sativa-dominant hybrid. Now, according to what I read online, it is a 95% sativa, only a 5% indica. So that means this is going to be a really strong head strain. You should feel more of that head high as opposed to that body high. Maybe just a slightness with that 5% indica mixed into there. Average THC levels for this strain, what I read said it is between 18 and 21%, not super high. Where does my batch come in on that? Well, if I could see, of course it's a little color coded in there, but as you can see, mine is just a little over 18% THC. So I'm right there, right at the bottom of that range that they've given, which isn't bad because, we've looked at some of these strains from the Cosmos before where the THC level was really low. And, I always say don't focus on those THC levels, and I continue to say that because you really, just my opinion anyway, you really just got to kind of look at the weed. If you get the opportunity to smell the weed, those are the bigger indicators than what they print on there as far as their THC levels. But I'm not going to get into that today. We're going to keep moving on. Let's take a little closer look at the weed itself. Let's move the purple pipe out of our way. Grab one of these nugs right here. This is what it looks like up close. Take a look at that. Nice, really dark buds there and really solid. Now, the last batch that I bought from the Cosmos Company, I can't remember what the strain was called, but it was riddled with stems, tiny little nugs. It was a lot of work trying to just get that stuff clean so that I could smoke it, getting the stem out. Thankfully, there was no seed. I've not really gotten any of these packages with any seeds, but yeah, this looks really nice. Look at that nice, solid nug, and it is dense, but it's not super dense. Look at that. It's got a little bit of squishiness to it right there, as you can see. And Yeah. So this is kind of like my ideal nugs right here because I could just break a piece off here, pack it right in my bowl, in my bong, and I'm ready to go. There's not a whole lot of prep work in order to get this going. But as you can see, there's also some nice dark orange hairs on there, kind of a cluster. And what else does everybody see? I know you all do without me even saying it, right? Take a look at those crystals. Now, there's not a ton of crystals on there, but that's okay because you do see some of them still. And as we break this nugget open, oh, look at that. Now, there are some crystals for sure hiding on the inside of everything. Look how nice that looks. Really fluffy, really airy. Well, not really airy, but airy enough. You got the nice crystals, the nice orange hairs, dark and light leaves in there. Smell-wise, I can already smell it from over there. Oh, it smells really sweet. It's got more of a, like a chocolatey sweet, maybe coffee chocolate sweet. Oh, it smells really good. It's got a little bit of gassiness to it as well. At least that's what I think when I smell it. Other people have said that it smells, let's see, chocolate, coffee. I did kind of mention that. Earthy, pungent, and sweet. I definitely am getting that sweetness off of there too. Oh, it smells real. I mean, it has got a really strong odor, which is what I really like when I'm, taking a look at weed. Man, the ones that have a really strong smell tend to have a really strong flavor to them, which is a big thing for me. I don't pay attention to the numbers as much as I pay attention to how it looks, it feels, it tastes, all that good stuff, right? And so far, we are off to a good start with just the way this one is looking and smelling. Of course, we're going to taste it here in a moment. We're going to talk about the effects. I've, of course, got the purple pipe loaded up, as well as the Guns N' Roses bong loaded up off to the side. So, without waiting any longer, shall we go ahead and take a couple of tokes? Hey, those of you out there who are watching, as always, please, if you are smoking, dabbing, taking edibles, whatever it is, hey, maybe even you're having a beer. I've said that before. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, watching my videos, please join me. Let's go ahead and take this toke together. Cheers, everybody out there, and then let's talk about the taste of this strain. Is it going to taste as good as it smells? That is always the question, and typically, like I said, it does. And whew, today is no different than normal. It has got a really good taste to it. It doesn't quite taste like the smell. I'm not getting a lot of that chocolatey, but I am getting a little bit of that sweetness, maybe a little bit of earthiness. Maybe that's where it's coming in at. And maybe just even a slight hint of vanilla in there. Whew. It tastes really, really good though. Effects-wise, we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. Starting to maybe feel, well, not really feeling stoned by those two tokes that I took, but I've got the bong loaded up off to the side here, the Guns N' Roses bong. We're going to take a hit of this. We'll talk about what other people have said, the flavors that they've mentioned or that they've noticed. And then hopefully we can start talking about the effects of this strain, right? Cheers once again, everybody. Woo. I'll tell you what, that tastes really, really good out of the bong. Those flavors, oh, I'm sorry, my backlight, which is always my computer, went off on me there. Those flavors out of that bong, I'm getting a little bit of the gassiness taste of it as well that I was noticing in the smell. But yeah, it's got a real sweetness to it, a little bit of maybe hint of vanilla. All in all, this strain tastes and smells really good. But you know, what's the most important thing? Well, actually, before we talk about the effects, let's talk about what other people have reported the flavors to be trying this strain as well. And it pretty much matches the smell as far as what people have reported. They said chocolate, coffee, sweet, and vanilla. Not really getting that coffee flavor off of it, or even that chocolate off of the taste, but whew, I tell you what, it tastes and smells really good. And as far as the effects, well, after those two pipe hits and that bong toke, I'm not baked. I'm not super stoned. It doesn't take a lot to get me stoned. Actually, that's not true because I do have a pretty high tolerance. But I tell you what, I am starting to feel a little bit of the effects of that. Starting to feel that, just that uplifted happiness, a little bit behind the eyes, a little bit creative, maybe even talkative. Definitely. But most of the time when I'm doing these videos, I'm just in a talkative mood anyway. So is it really the strain? Is it me? I don't know. Maybe it's a combination of both. But either way, yeah, I'm starting to feel those effects of that. And I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling a little bit stoned for sure. Other people have talked about having, let's see, creative, euphoria, and happy effects. I believe that, absolutely. But, what strain of weed doesn't make you happy, right? I can't remember ever smoking and going, oh my gosh, I'm so unhappy. That strain makes me feel unhappy. If that happens to you, hopefully it doesn't, then definitely you don't want to smoke that strain again, right? Again, I don't think that really happens. Just my opinion. Most of the people who smoke weed do it, for ailments or to help uplift themselves. And I think this is definitely doing that for me. So there you have it. There's the taste, effects, smells. What do you think? For me, so far, this strain is definitely getting that thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Why not? Why not? We're doing 2 videos this month. Why not 2 thumbs up? You already know it. Hit it. Hit that thumbs up button for me right there. Let all of you let me know that you liked my video today and that you got some useful information out of it, or you just enjoyed hanging out with me, which I also really appreciate. That means a lot to me. Of course, you can hit that like button or leave comments down below. I do, as always, respond to everybody. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time, but I typically do respond to anybody who leaves a comment down below. So please take the moment and do that. Other things I have to mention really fast here, of course, my dans420chronicles.com/shop or dans420.com/shop. I don't know why I did the whole Chronicles in there. I've got, they all take you to the same place, to my shop where you can get your own dans420 where, hey, spring is in the air. It's starting to get really nice here. Well, to be truthful, here in Colorado, we've had a little bit of mixed weather. We had a pretty big snowstorm last week, but today, this week, we're going to be in the 70s. Our weather is just all over the place, but that means that's perfect because my shop has both. It has hoodies for them cold days and tank tops for them nice hot ones. So please take a moment, look through there. There's lots of t-shirts, lots of designs. Love to show my designs off. Here is my 21 strain shirt that I've got. And yeah, lots of other products in there besides t-shirts and hoodies. So take a moment and pick something up for yourself. Anyway, back to my weed review. Whew, that weed is a little bit of a creeper. I am starting to feel a little bit more stoned off of those hits. Again, I'm not baked, but I'm feeling nice and good, feeling nice and chill. Hey, hopefully all you out there are also having a nice chill day, evening, night, whatever time it is that you are watching this video. Hopefully things are just nice and mellow for you as well, because I know they are for me after taking those couple of tokes. So what else can we talk about before I get out of here today? Well, there's always the medical uses, right? Medical uses, people have reported using this for chronic pain, depression, fatigue, nausea, and stress. That nausea is a big one. I don't mention that in a lot of my videos, but I should, because I feel like almost every strain out there really does help with that nausea. If you have a hangover, whatever it is, upset tummy just because you've eaten something not good, whatever it is, really, smoking weed does help with that nausea. At least it does for me. It's a big helper when it comes to that. Thankfully, I don't get nauseated very often, but again, when I do, weed is a big help. Stress, of course, I think all the strains also help with that. Fatigue, that's an interesting one because this is a sativa, right? So it's going to make you feel that uplifted. I get it. I feel a little bit awake. I feel energetic, ready to go do something, right? So I get that for sure. So there you have it. I tell you what else I have, which is a side effect, is some cottonmouth. Yeah, really starting to kick in here. So I'm going to take a quick swig of my jug here. My ice jug that I freeze and then fill with water. I freeze half of it and then fill it with water so that my water stays cold throughout my day. But anyway, that's not what you tuned in for. Clearly, I'm starting to ramble, which again means that that strain is doing its job. It's starting to make me feel nice and good. So there you have it. There's today's weed review. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. As I said, I will be back next month. I've been talking about doing other things besides just the weed reviews. And I did, right? Earlier this month, I did the THC concentrate. And I'm hoping next month to do a video on gummies. If not gummies, on butter. One of the two. That's my goal next month. So I may or may not do a weed review on top of that. If time permits it, of course, I'm going to do both of them. But that's my goal. Wish me luck. Hopefully things all fall in place and I'll be back next month with 2 new videos to share with all of you. And until then, once again, thank you all for hanging out with me today, checking out my latest video. The support means a lot to me. It really does. And until next time, stay safe out there, Stoner fam. I'll see you all soon.